Hello. So in this video, I want to talk about two questions. Number one, how does one firm determine its individual supply schedule? And number two, why does supply equal marginal cost? All right, so firstly, the data in this video come from a past paper that I found where it shows an individual firm's total cost. I would call that private cost for the rest of the time being because I'm the individual. I'm one firm, so it's my private cost. And then there's marginal cost, meaning if I increase my output from 1 unit to 2, as we can see here, from 1 to 2, my marginal cost is 15. My total cost increased from 200 to 215. 215 minus 200 gives me that 15. So that's total cost, marginal cost, and that's what we're going to be looking at in this video. So this question is asked, what is the average fixed cost of producing 6 units? So 6 units is not on the table. It's, not on this table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're actually calculate the 6 unit. Well, we know from IGCSE that fixed cost is average fixed cost is equal to the fixed cost divided by the quantity. In this example, this is 6 units, that's the quantity. And then we look back up here to get the fixed cost, which is output equal to 0. Okay, and I'll talk about that in the future. So this is my firm. Again, I'm using this data and say, okay, so now how much are the fixed costs and why do we need to know the fixed costs? So the fixed cost is when the quantity is equal to 0. When in this case, when the quantity is equal to 0, the marginal cost said that the total cost has increased by 20. So as we go from 0 to 1, we have a fixed cost plus the 20 marginal cost. It increased by 20, which will give us this total cost of 200. So from that information, we know that the fixed cost is 180. So C is wrong because we have 6 units. Remember that the average fixed cost is the 180 divided by 6 units, which is 30. Correct answer here is B. But anyway, there's more to that, more than just knowing it to get the answer to this. There's a couple essay questions related to this on your exam. And another reason why we need to know the fixed cost is that the question on your exam will be, where does the supply curve come from and why are there specific quantities that the firm will not produce? Well, the firms will not produce a specific quantity if an increase in quantity, meaning we go from 0 to 1 or 0 from 1 to 2 and the price is falling, then the firm won't produce. In order for the firm to produce, the price must be increasing as the quantity is increasing. If the quantity is increasing and the price is falling, the firm won't produce. Also, the price must be equal to or greater than the average variable cost. So as we know from IGCSE, the average variable cost is equal to, it comes from the average total cost equal to the average fixed cost plus the average variable cost. So we need to calculate the average variable cost using that information. So again, IGCSE, real easy stuff. Total cost equals fixed cost plus variable cost. That's real basic. And if we want averages of anything, we just take the total cost divided by quantity, the fixed cost divided by quantity, and the variable cost divided by quantity, and we have averages of each of the three just doing that. So what I did to calculate the average variable cost in this example, I looked at the total cost and I'm looking at the quantity of 4. You have to do it for each quantity. Now, I looked at the total cost 240 minus the fixed cost of 180 here when the quantity is equal to 0, 180, calculated from that previous past paper. And I divided by the quantity at that quantity, and I got 15. Now, this is a very special average variable cost because it is the lowest of the average variable cost, except for here. Okay, and I'll show you a diagram later. That means that the firm is not willing to produce units 3, 2, 1, or of course 0. No firm goes out, spends $180 million to build a firm and produce 0. That doesn't make sense. So in this example, and look at this 15. I know there are 2 15s here, but if you look at the quantity as it increases from 2 to 3, the costs are falling. See, it goes from 15 to 10. And you should know that price is equal to the marginal cost. So the price is falling from, as we go from 2 to 3, quantity is going up, but the price is falling from 15 to 10. So the firm is not willing to produce quantity 3, 2, 1, or 0. So that leaves us with quantity of 4. 4 or larger. Okay, and we'll see that as we go forward. What we have here is we have a picture of the situation that I just spoke about. We have the quantity is 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then we have the price equal to the marginal cost. Remember, price equals cost. These costs are in terms of dollars, so we could say the price is equal to cost because a cost is a dollar amount. So if we look at this graphically here, we could see that for these quantities 1, 2, 3, that the price of 15 here is falling here, here, here. The quantity is increasing, but the price is falling. So they not willing to produce these. And so that means that this is the beginning quantity that the firm is willing to produce and ongoing. And also the second criteria, which is the average variable cost, is the lowest here. This is the lowest one. Okay, next. So here I exaggerated here. I put the same slide as from last time, and then I put the private costs there. That is my private cost for production. The marginal private cost is my firm, my marginal private cost here, and that's in all the previous slides. And you can see that I took an eraser and erased all of the parts where the firm is not willing to produce these quantities below 4. It's the same graph. I just erased the quantities that the firm is not willing to produce. The firm will produce at the minimum average variable cost level and onward, where price is at least equal to average variable cost. This is price, 15 is equal to there, and then onward. So that's this. Now, this is something that's very interesting in economics that I've accidentally proven here, is that the supply is equal to the marginal private cost. So let's look at this. So at the quantity of 4, the marginal private cost is equal to 15. See, quantity equals to 4, the marginal private cost is equal to 15. Let's get another one, 6. The marginal private cost is 25. So the 6 is here, the 25 is there. So what that means is the quantity supplied is equal to the marginal private cost. And you'll see that in your textbooks when they talk about social cost and social benefit, cost benefit analysis. So supply equals marginal private cost there. So that's that. Okay. I'll continue this discussion. I will either add more supply curves, because this is just one individual. There is a market. This is the individual supply curve, and there will be more and more suppliers coming into this market, and the supply curve will shift to the right as more and more firms go through this process. And the video series will also continue with, I will have the demand curve, and it will be equal to the marginal private benefit. So I look forward to future videos. Thanks.